All right, I'm gonna do a video on geocentricity. And you guys know I like to do book recommendations. The Biblical Astronomer, this is the summer 2013. This comes from a guy by the name of Gerardus Bow. Hopefully you guys can see this. Gerardus Bow, he runs a website called geocentricity.com. And I've subscribed to his newsletter that he sends out every now and then. And he's also just came out with a book. And I recommend you get his book. I think it's called Geocentricity, Christianity in the Woodshed, or something like that. Okay, so I want to read you guys some Bible verses. These are the verses that come to mind when I think about geocentricity, although there is a lot more. Okay, Joshua 10:13 is my first one. It says this, and the sun. Okay, this is an example where the Lord needed to make the day longer so that Joshua could kill his enemies, right? Okay, how did the Lord make the day longer? And the sun stood still and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Now that doesn't say, and the earth stopped, and the Lord made the earth stop rotating, right? He didn't say that. He said, and the Lord, and the sun stood still. The Lord made the sun stand still, not the earth stop rotating. There's a big difference. It boils down to, do you believe this Bible, or do you believe mainstream science that has been corrupted by the devil, right? And there's a domino effect that's happened throughout the history of mankind. It's been going on, at least with geocentricity, it's been going on for over 400, 500 years. When Kepler, Copernicus, Galileo convinced everybody that science was more authoritative than the Bible, and when they compromised on that, they compromised that the earth is billions of years old, and then the next step is you compromise that there's no such thing as God, we're just a random mutation driven by natural selection through evolution. And so they should have never compromised on geocentricity. There's a saying that everyone attacks Darwin, but real men attack Galileo. And let me tell you, the Bible is geocentric, and the Bible's always right. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You can line up Einstein, Stephen Hawking, Lawrence Krauss, Galileo, Copernicus, Kepler on one side of the room, and on the other side of the room you got an empty chair, and just stick this Bible. Just go with the Bible every time, and you'll never go wrong. Just go with the Bible, right? All right. Also in that Biblical Astronomer by Gerardus Bow, he talks about things like Foucault's pendulum, Coriolis effect. He talks about weather phenomenon like ball lightning, and other types of things that come into play when you look at the topic of geocentricity. The seasons, how the seasons can occur in a geocentric model, the retrograde motion of Venus, and he talks about all kinds of different things. I got somebody showing up at the door, I guess. I want to read you guys some more verses. First Chronicles 16:30. What a time for somebody to show up at the door. First Chronicles 16:30. Fear before him all the earth. The world also shall be stable, that it be not moved. The world also shall be stable, that it be not moved. Now, a lot of people want to quote verses about earthquakes. Earthquakes are different than the earth flowing through space, or just hurtling through space at 177,000 miles per hour around the solar system, or the galaxy, and 66,000 miles per hour around the solar system, and 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, just spinning every which way you can imagine. There's a difference between Earth moving out of its position in the universe than it trembling from an earthquake. And so don't confuse your verses in the Bible that talk about earthquakes, okay? That movement is different than moving through the universe and its position in space. The Earth has a very designated position in space, and it's the dead center. It's not some insignificant spot out here in the universe that nobody cares about, like Carl Sagan would have you believe, which he was an absolute reprobate, degenerate, God-hater. Okay, I want to read you two more verses. Psalm 93:1. The Lord reigneth, he is clothed with majesty. The Lord is clothed with strength, wherewith he hath girded himself. The world also is established, that it cannot be moved. The world also is established, that it cannot be moved. That verse right there is talking about geocentricity. It's very straightforward. Psalms 96:10. Ye that love the Lord, nope, sorry, wrong psalm. Although I love that verse, ye that love the Lord hate evil. Man, I think I made a mistake, and that was a beautiful mistake. Ye that love the Lord hate evil. That's a beautiful verse, isn't it? Okay, let's go to Psalms 96:10. Say among the heathen that the Lord reigneth. The world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. He shall judge the people righteously. Man, I'm looking forward to that. But the world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. In Genesis, it says God created the heaven and the earth. They're separate, right? Because the earth is in the center and the heaven surrounds the earth. The Bible's been right for the last 400, 500 years. It's a science that has taken us off. And if you get that biblical astronomer, the book, Geocentricity, Christianity in the Woodshed, there's a movie coming out called theprinciplemovie.com, made by a Catholic, and I always have to say that I don't support Catholicism, but I have to give credit where credit is due. The movie it's right on the hits the nail on the head with geocentricity. But it talks about geostationary satellites, geosynchronous satellites, Foucault's pendulum, things like that. But let's get to the point that I want to make, and I made this video because this question comes up over and over again by people who can't think past their own eyelids. They're just parroting what they heard in 3rd grade regarding some solar system model that has been put up on the blackboard, and they keep repeating what they've been taught. So let me get my crude model. Okay, this right here is my very, very crude model. I don't think I need my glasses anymore. So we'll call this the sun. The sun is yellow, and I found a little blue racquetball. I won't make any jokes about my blue balls, but this is the earth, okay? And you've got the sun and the little earth, and you guys think this, don't you? This is what you guys think, right? You think the sun, you think the earth is just spinning around this big massive sun, and that it's impossible for the sun to orbit the earth. This is what you guys think right here, right? Just like that. Okay? All right. First of all, if you just had these two in the model, it would seem very logical that that's true, that the earth does orbit the massive sun. But the problem with these people is they can't think past their own eyelids. They can't understand like a bigger picture in things, and they just repeat what the devil satanic educational system has taught them, right? The Bible's always right, and the rest of the world is what needs to be corrected, because the Bible corrects men don't correct the Bible. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not just a two element system. We don't just have the earth and the sun. We have the rest of the universe, okay? And the rest of the universe makes it a whole different picture, okay? Now I got another ball, and we'll call this ball the rest of the universe. So let me stick you my little coat hanger. I know you guys making fun of me, but I don't care. It doesn't take much to tear down the lies of Satan, right? It doesn't take much. You know, they have their scientific buildings and their educational systems and their colleges, and you guys want to like promote. I'm a promoter of science too. But if you haven't figured it out, if you don't know, I'm not bragging, because you know I think all accolades of men will fall. I think when we get to heaven, it'll almost be like we're embarrassed that we were indoctrinated so bad. But I happen to be an electrical engineer with a minor in mechanical engineering, and I took a lot of physics and calculus and everything else in college. So I'm familiar with some of our higher learning systems, and I'm here to tell you they're all satanically indoctrinated to lead you away from the Bible, right? And so let's get back to the question. How can a larger body revolve around a smaller body? In a two-element system, it would seem illogical that the sun would go around the earth, right? It would seem very logical. But if you add in the rest of the universe, right, and you look at the big picture, there has to be one particular point in the universe that's the center. Well, what particular point would you imagine that would be? Well, maybe it's the earth, and if I can get this thing working here, this is what we have going on. And if you'll notice, the earth stays right in now, in this particular model, the earth is rotating. I don't even believe the earth rotates. In actuality, I'm having to do that because I got the coat hangers plugged into the ball. But you notice how the sun now is going around the earth, and the earth stays in the center, and the rest of the universe is also going around this central point as well. Now, I happen to believe that some things orbit the sun, right? I happen to believe that some things orbit the sun as the sun orbits the earth, and that can account for the retrograde motion of Venus and other planets, right? So we got to account for these retrograde motions, and that is done in the models. If you go to GalileoWasWrong.com, right? GalileoWasWrong.com, you'll see all of these models. They're animations, and you can actually educate yourself regarding the animations of a geocentric universal model. But I wanted to show you guys, because hopefully this will put, you see this? This Earth is staying right in the center, and you got the sun orbiting the Earth, and you got the rest of the universe orbiting the central spot as well, okay? That is how a large body can orbit a small body, okay? Now, with just a couple of coat hangers and a few balls and I picked up in the toy store, I destroyed this stupid argument that a large body cannot revolve around a small body, okay? Now, if a stupid country Texas boy like me can figure this out, and I don't claim to be the smartest guy in the world, I want you to seriously consider like what the satanic educational system has blinded you to, because you're incapable of thinking outside the box. You're incapable of thinking on your own. And we've all been like born in a pile of crap, and we're trying to dig our way out of the crap, right? And I'm just saying that the best way to dig your way out of the crap is to start reading your King James Bible and believing what it says. Because that King James Bible is pure, unadulterated, inerrant, infallible, inspired truth from God Almighty, who created you and me and everything else in the universe. He created the universe. I think God Almighty knows how it operates. And I think that his book, the King James Bible, it says the earth cannot be moved, right? So it doesn't move. You understand what I'm saying? There's going to come a time when you're going to have to choose whether you believe God or whether you believe humanity. I'm saying always just go with God and his perfect book, the King James Bible. May God bless and protect and give comfort and uplift the righteous people who believe the Bible, and may God Almighty bring divine justice to the wicked bastards who are ruining this world.